Hey everybody, I'm Captain Tommy Scoble, and you were on the lifeboat. Boy, oh boy, people, I had an adventure today. I'll probably tell you about it on the next one. I had an adventure today that was just. I'm gonna give you a piece of advice. I'll tell you the whole story at a later date, but I'm gonna give you a quick piece of advice just in case. If you got a car with a key fob, right? You know what I mean? One of those cars that you don't have to stick a key into to start. You know what I'm talking about? Get in, hit a button, change the battery. Do it today. Because when that battery goes dead, it is a process. Hello, Huckleberry, Statler, Calhoun, Joel, Carrie Wilson. Good to see you, Carrie. Hello from Alabama. I'm not sure if I've said hello to you, but I'm glad you're here. Mama Bear's bedtime stories. I'm telling some bedtime stories. Jason P. Good to see you, my man. Really good to see you. Just Pauline. How are you? Shannon Smith, Shag Nasty, Doc. Taekwondo Life, thank you for everything you do. Jen, thank you for all you do. Ron, the Queen of Awkwardness, Janet G. Casey, Penelope McGowan, my sister George, Cat Stewart. Hey, Rev Girl, how are you? Flick Fox, Michael J. Jennifer Lemke, the inappropriate. What's up, Half? Hey, Cricket, how you doing? Kristen Melinda, Spicy Cat Foster, Laura Font, Sean's wifey. Scooby, and there's Cosmic Christie. What's happening? Beverly, glad you're here. How is Q? I'm going to get to that in 1 second, I promise. Before we do, there's one other thing I'd like to talk about because I think it's kind of more important than I want to thank everybody for reaching out, all of the thoughts and the prayers for my friend. This morning was tough. You know what I mean? It just sucks because you can't do anything. And I'm sure that his mom is probably watching. I'm not picking on her at all. I'm just telling you a story because this is how it went down. But he called me. And if you've never dealt with anything like this before, you don't have any point of reference at all, right? Stroke's new. The whole concept's new. There are two kinds of strokes. One is called a hemorrhagic, right? As in hemorrhage, right? Hemorrhaging. This is where a blood vessel inside the brain explodes, right? It breaks. The pressure gets so backed up that it ruptures the vessel. And the trouble is that blood touching gray matter does bad stuff to it. It eats it. It's like, I don't know if you've ever seen gasoline touch styrofoam, but it just begins to eat it really quickly. It's all bad. That is a hemorrhagic stroke. The other type of stroke is called an ischemic stroke, right? And an ischemic stroke is a backup. And while it backs up and the blood's not getting through there, you know, you'll get all of the symptoms. It is the better of the two. It is absolutely the better of the two. My understanding, and again, we don't get details the way you would from somebody else. They just see that a vested interest, not that you know anything. But Mama Q has been told that he was taken from the unit that he was in, Unit 9, and taken to medical immediately. Right, they got him down there very, very quickly, and they were able to give him the clot buster drug at the premises. So he was given everything that he was supposed to be given. He does not know if there's any deficits. I had deficits big time, you know, and look at me now, right? So she doesn't know what the extent of the deficits are or anything else, but he was given the clot buster. That's a good thing. It certainly did wonders for me, and it was obviously not hemorrhagic because he was given the clot buster drug and he's still with us. So I am going to be, I'm just going to be keeping everybody in the loop. He is not in his home where he has been for all of those years. So he is, when I look him up, he is not in the, it says currently that he's not in the BOP, which I've dreamt about reading that for years. That's not exactly how I wanted it to go down, but I'm looking forward to the next time that I can look that up. And it says that he is not in the custody of the BOP. Jam, I'm glad you're here. Lavender Bridges to a touch of Giles. Glad you're here. Tommy Knocker, what's happening? Alice Metcalf, Palumbo, always a pleasure. Michael J, glad you're here. Sandy Bowers, hello. Now, My brother Johnny Scoville, kind of a big deal. Don't know if you know that. He's kind of a big deal in this whole pepper community thing. You had to resubscribe. Okay, so Johnny Scoville did a show where he said, guess what? I'm not getting notifications going out. I'm not, and people aren't, and people are getting unsubscribed. And you don't check. It's like your front license plate. When I used to rob banks, I would steal a Dodge Durango. And I would go steal the front license plate off of a Dodge Durango that belonged to a different car. And then I would move that plate to the back of the stolen Dodge Durango. The point being, no one ever looks at their front plate. You could go by for the rest of your life and not know that your front plate was missing. Because normally we get in the car, we drive off, we're not looking at the front. Danny, thank you. See, Danny says, I was unsubscribed. A lot of people are. My brother did a show like this and picked up about 100 subscribers. Those are not new people. Those were people who had been unsubscribed. So you got to check. This is an epidemic across the entire freaking big red button. Every genre is getting hit. Now, I'm paranoid. I really am. But I feel like positive channels with positive messages do seem to get smacked around a lot. Brenda, you attended the University of Vermont? You're a catamount? No, I did not attend the University of Vermont. I went there a lot, but I did not go to school there. I am a Hoosier, believe it or not. But thank you. Yep, another Maria. I'm glad that you're still subscribed. And I hope that everybody checks and sees that you are. And you know what? If you watch me every day and you do not hit subscribe, what's your problem, man? 52% of you who watch me will not hit subscribe. Those statistics do not change. Half of you don't hit subscribe, but you're returning viewers, which is kind of odd. So I don't know what it is about me. Is it the bank robbery thing or is it the nose? Check this out. Seriously, that's a proboscis. You feel me? Look at this. Pretty good sized. Could be the nose. I don't know. But for whatever reason, you just do not want to hit. Well, this is true, Jen. It's true. The unsubscribing thing has been going on for years. Nobody will argue that. It is going on right now in epidemic portions in ways that people haven't seen in the past. On top of that, nothing changes in what I do. Truthfully, nothing changes. Currently, the lifeboat's more popular than it has ever been, right? But I can tell you by the number of views I get, right, in the first hour and a half, whether or not all the notifications go out. And the number of you who are kicking back to me saying, I don't get notifications anymore. I don't get notifications anymore. I don't get notifications anymore. That's a bummer. And I know they're not doing it on purpose. They have vested interest to try to get people to click onto as many ads as they possibly can, right? This is a mission for them to sell commercials. Killington, Vermont. That's it. Let me tell you something. I lived about 2-3 woods and a 9-iron from Killington Mountain. That was where I learned to ski. Hef's got people laughing. Let's see what Hef's doing. Now the song Humpty, my nose did it. Hef, you know what? You're quick on your feet, Hef. You're funny and you're quick on your feet. I love that. It's snowing here. Oh, I don't miss it. I love looking at the snow. I'm so glad I'm not pushing that crap around, man. I am in leftist tube and debunking tube, also a very volatile space. I control my account with playlists pretty well. Well, I hope you're having a ball over there. I'm trying to hydrate it. Oh, look at that. I got a little butt. So you got a notification. That's good. It seems to be about... it's hit or miss on some of them. I mean, we got 250 people here. Chances are most of the notifications went out today, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. So to bring you up to speed, Q's problem was ischemic, which is really good news for us. I don't know the extent of what that means, and I probably won't until he is back in the prison in his I'd saying home. I really hate calling that his home, but he's been there for about 3 decades. So, you go to a place for 3 decades, you work in a factory, you don't get any fist fights, you don't get any write-ups. The only thing he ever did wrong was a hunger strike, and they did not write him up for that. He did not get a right. a write-up. He didn't get a shot. So guy's never done anything wrong. How do you not look at this and go, you know what? I was in prison, unapologetically me. I was in prison, and the college correspondence course that they were working with, the university that would allow us to do that was the Hoosiers. That was the only one that was willing to allow that to happen. Or there were about 6 or 7 community colleges that did as well. But 2 of them were in California. One of them was somewhere else. So it was in a good place. It was kind of centrally located. And for a while, I was at the Federal Correction Institution in Terre Haute. You love me, but where is Squirrel? I knew you were only here for the cat. I knew it. It took 11 minutes before somebody finally was like, hey, man, where's the cat? Squirrel's on strike. So here's what happened. We ran out of snacks, and I went out and got new ones, right? And these are the exact same damn snacks that the cat has loved for years. This is her snack, right? See, Lisa didn't get the notification. Just happened to look to see and saw that it was live. I'm so glad that you did. I'm putting my glasses on in honor of you. What do you think of that? Maybe. Your cats are eating dinner. It's a beautiful thing. There we go. Look at that. Now there's no reflection, and I can do the glass thing. Huh? Haven't seen a notification in a while, like a day. I checked to see if YouTube is acting up again. Anne from Massachusetts. Okay, this is happening. Yeah, I've heard this too on Facebook. Now, is it people being hacked? Is it the algo screwing up? Whatever it is. A lot of people who are really smart have come up with a lot of reasons for why this is happening. I don't know why it's happening. I don't. Right? But this is my damn channel. I want you to check every day and see if you're subscribed. That's what I would like you to do. I would like you to check and see if you're subscribed, because you know what, man? This thing means so much to me. Now, if you're not getting notifications, go in there and hit the bell for notifications. Hit all, because you don't want to miss anything, right? You'll miss Seventh Son's jokes. You'll miss my my incredible proboscis. Tell me that puppy shouldn't be carved on the side of Mount Rushmore. It looks a little Italian, you know, but what are you going to do? Let's see. How do they keep unsubscribing me when I'm a member? So rude. May danger. That's what I'm saying, right? Yeah, that's it's rude. It was done to me too, by the way. I was kicked off of my brother's channel. How's that? Now, okay, so maybe I actually left my brother's channel and then he kind of saw that I wasn't there and I had to say that I was unsubbed. No, I'm kidding. I really got kicked off of Chase the Heat, which is just stupid. I mean, obviously, I didn't unsubscribe from my brother's channel. Sorry. They do call that a Roman nose. You know why they call that a Roman nose? Seriously? Because it goes from here to Rome. Taekwondo says, so many names in the chat I don't recognize. Have I been gone that long? No, here's what's happening. All of these people have been here the whole time, but I'm doing a show at a different time of the day. And what you find is that when I do these shows, like I recognize everybody because these people reach out. Although, here you go. Angie Mo, bit long time no see. I don't remember. It's been a long time, I think. I remember saying hello, but I feel like it's been a long time. Zippy, how you doing? Zippy McAdoo. Good to see you. Cheshire Cat, glad you're here. 7th of 9. It's been that way in California for decades. That's how I transferred to Santa Cruz. Tara, honestly, I don't know what's going on. I think that, you know, sometimes I think that people mess with them, right? Like they mess with the big red button, and this is one of the results that happens from hackers or things like that. I think that that's a possibility and one that could have happened. But I'll tell you what, I know Discord intimidates some people, whatever. Don't use it. Don't use it. But go sign up for Discord, and you're going to get a notification before I go live, because BoatBot goes in there and tells everybody that the boat's going live. You will always get a notification. They don't screw up. So if you really want a notification, You can sign up there. You don't have to hang out there. You don't have to do anything, but it sure as you know what is going to get you notifications. Tommy, do you weather vane in a stiff wind? Yeah, technically I do. I mean, it's got to be a stiff wind, but yeah, no, technically I do. The other thing is like motorcycle, got to have a helmet. You ride a motorcycle with a schnoz like this, and you got to go aerodynamic because like you get in there and you're going fast, whatever. If you go this way, you're off the bike. I mean, I'm telling you, it's that simple. And if you hold on too hard, the bike's going with you. This thing is, it's like the rudder of a boat, but having it in the front. It's bad aerodynamics, I'm telling you. Do you have a pug nose? Says Hef. You know what? Here's the deal. Roman nose because it runs all the time. It's not such a bad because it roams all over the place. It also runs all over the place. Sadly, I think I have a permanent nose run. That's just I put way too much stuff up it. That's really what it comes down to. Davey, good to see ya. My other's keeper. Always a pleasure. You know what? I want to tell you a story. I'm so glad you're here. I was wondering if you would be. Tara, here's what happens, just real quick, Tara, because I didn't really answer your question. When you're a smaller channel, you notice it. I remember when I first got up off the ground. I mean, if you lost 3, you were like, how did I piss off 3 people? Man, I got 75. How did I upset 3 of them? You really notice it. The people can still be coming back because how often do you look to see if you're subscribed? Honestly, how often do you look and go, oh, am I still subscribed to that channel? You just show up and you watch. But it's tough on the creators. I know this was happening to Reese a while back because Reese was like complaining. She said, I'm parked at 1 number. I said, it's ridiculous. But it's amazing how many people Johnny picked up just by pointing out to his audience, hey, check and see if you're unsubscribed. He picked up 100 subscribers. I mean, that's absolutely nothing but nothing short of bizarre. The assist. Hold on 1 second. Or did you want to hear the trumpet? Should we go with it? Oh, wasn't that impressive this time? Wasn't that impressive this time? You lost quite a lot of subscribers over the last month. Do not take it personally. It's happening to everybody. Now, when you get up around 20 or 30,000, you might not notice it because people are coming in every day just by the numbers and you're not noticing, right? But if you have a smaller channel, you'll absolutely get to notice it. I remember that. Oh, what a cool thing to say, Jinx. I got a couple of other comments from people that said things that were very similar to that. That you just sort of really feel like you get an opportunity to know people, us in particular. You had to resubscribe too. Oh, Susanna, thank you for taking the time to look, everybody. Because I think I've just picked up about 5 or 6 subscribers just in this short section. So it does show you that people are getting kicked out. And you know what? It's not killing the boat. It really isn't. You don't get paid on subscribers. It doesn't keep you going. But I don't want anybody that we call family not being in this. That to me, that's a bummer. Kathleen, you're right. There's no way to argue this. Kathleen says, Tommy, glad you went live this morning. It's always better to share the hard things than to keep it inside. That's when bad things can happen. You got folks who love you and are here for you. Press or never hesitate. You know what? I don't give a name to any. There's 7th. Good to see you, my friend. I don't give the time of day to people who make their living being jackasses. You know what I'm talking about. But there is a gentleman that he has a channel, and he made a comment about my friend this morning. And it was racist and it was all kinds of other things. And you know who you are. And I'm telling you right now, you know what? I don't acknowledge him. I really don't. But the day is coming. I promise you where we're going to stand in the same room. It's kind of how that world works. But that day is coming. And I promise you're not going to use that word when I'm standing there. Got my word. And one of these days, I'm going to come on and I'm going to say, hey, I would like all of you to go over and check out my friend's channel. It ain't going to be my friend. I'm going to make that really clear. And you guys can go over and check it out and see the racist crap this guy posts, see what you think. And maybe you'd like to, I don't know. We're not going to do it today, though. Tommy, I resubscribe to you and several other channels every day because I get unsubscribed and I don't know why. Cinderella's glass slipper. This seems to be something that Yeah, it happens. I'm not exactly sure why it happens, but it's certainly something that's been going on for a long time. Deeming said the same thing. I had to resub to both of you, right? Why is it happening? I don't know. I don't know. Now, you kind of got to give them a bit of a pass. I mean, if you let's see, there's closing in on 70 million channels. It might get a little hard to operate. You got a lot of people complaining, a lot of people saying stuff. Um, it's yeah. I mean, I'll give them a bit of a pass. I understand that this is a tough gig that they're doing. I really do. However, no, Gamer Jackie, I'll tell you what, the person that's a racist piece of crap is here listening right now. They've never missed one show that I do. They do not miss the shows. He's just an absolute racist piece of crap. He puts up racist content, and his channel's not big enough for YouTube to care about it. Because the truth of the matter is, if you're small and you're not successful, you can say anything you want. As you start getting bigger and you say something stupid, the whole world hears it. They'll get rid of you like that. But this guy is so unsuccessful that for the rest of his life, he's going to be able to say whatever he wants. And that's, it is the way it is. Hi, little for your information on subscriptions, you can look at it. It says subscribe as though, oh, and they aren't. If you go into channel, you're not actually unsubbed most of the time. Here's the problem with that, Kathleen. I'm watching the numbers drop, right? I'm watching the numbers drop, and so is every other content creator out there. So we are losing subs, right? It may say whatever, but we are losing subs. And I don't mean me personally. I mean YouTube. There is not one creator that I've talked to who doesn't say, yep, 25, 30 a day for big creators. I mean, guys like Aaron and my brother, I have no idea how many they're losing, but to give you an idea, the Lifeboat picks up about 100 people a day. That's about what the Lifeboat does. And it's been doing that since probably about late November, right? Then it just stops. Now, the crazy thing is the views don't. And the views and if you go and look, right, the views and the subscribers went like this the entire time. Then the views continued to go up and the subscribers started to do this one. And I just thought that's really odd because usually people who watch hit subscribe, a certain percentage of them. It's very odd that so I just thought maybe I was thinking of retooling. I was thinking of doing all kinds of stuff because the number was getting down to about 34 and it should have been going up from the 100. Well, if they're accidentally kicking 30 or 40 people off a day, and then I found out that it's happening to Reese, and I found out it's happening to Johnny, and I found out that it's happening to about 6 other people I know pretty well. So I don't know what it is. I really don't, but it's definitely kicking them off. Now, I'll tell you something. If you're a content creator, right? If people don't watch you, right? Sometimes you go, oh, please hit subscribe. I only need 25 people to get to, 1,000 or 2,000 or whatever. If those people never watch you, eventually they purge them, right? You're familiar with this as a concept? They purge, but they do the purge on a day. And all of you will hear about it, right? You'll be like, ooh, how many people did you lose? I think on the last one, I lost 45 and it was just one fell swoop. They're kicking those people off that don't watch you. It's cleanup is what it is. But I don't know if it doesn't do it the way they're supposed to, but it's very, very odd. It is really weird. It's hit or miss. It is absolutely hit or miss. Does it help to comment? Interesting. I don't know the answer to that. I'm going to guess no. But, I mean, I should say yes because it will help with the algorithm and all that. But I've commented a gazillion times on my brother's channel. And I got unsubbed from it. And I don't know how many people have left more comments over there. I think Charlie has, but not too many. They're pushing vertical. Their algorithm kicks bots. Well, and that's a good thing, right? I like that. I think that it would be great for the bots to leave. But they sadly are kicking out people I know by name. And I'm pretty confident they're not bots. Although I guess I could be a bot. You are lucky, Esperanza. A lot of people are. There's a bunch of people who have said that. But I think I've counted 16 so far that have said they've been unsubscribed just from this channel. So, and there's only 333 of us in here. So figure, even if it's 15, that is a large percentage. A large percentage. So it's real. It's happening. You comment on my channels all the time. I like their videos. It doesn't matter. Unsubscribed. Yeah, Cat, ACDC fan. I love ACDC too. It's just worth checking. It's just worth checking. And I would also recommend, I am a convincing robot, am I not? I would also recommend that everybody, if you have a channel, make a video like this about once every week or two. And just ask the people who watch you all the time to check and see if you're subscribed. Now, just for giggles, we're going to see what happened, because when you don't, if I don't update it, I can look and see. Okay. All right. So since the start of this show, we have picked up 26 subscribers. I don't pick up 26 subscribers on a video. I don't. Unless I'm talking about Danny Masterson, I do not pick up 26 subscribers on a video. Certainly not while live. Maybe over the course of a 24-hour period of time. But you know what? I bet it turns into 100. By the time 2,000 people see this, it's going to be a lot. I'll be very honest. I'll regularly unsub so I can resub just in case. I love it. I do that too, honestly. I do that especially if I feel like I'm not getting notifications. Sometimes I will unsub and then I will resub, and then hit the bell for notifications and all that. I am a romantic. Wow, what a nice thing to say. I'm not sure where you got that from, but I'll take it. I think romance is a good thing. I've always been a fan. I have always been a fan. Maybe it is just in the US. I'm in the UK, but I am a very proud South African. Esperanza. I was talking to a South African today on the phone while talking to my brother, Johnny Scoville. And it was funny because, not funny, haha, but they brought up the drug Mandrax, which apparently is still very available and popular in your country. Nowhere else on planet Earth is that drug still around. And it was very popular for maybe 60s, 70s, and 80s, right? 3 decades, maybe a little bit less than that, but there was a bunch of it going on. Can someone do me a favor? Seventh Son, do you see unapologetically me 26? Get that jackass off my boat, please. Seriously. Everybody get that? You got a wrench? Unapologetically me. Get that ass off my boat. And block him for life. I do not want him back. Capiche? No offense to anybody else. I love you all. I give off smooth romantic vibes that as a woman, I love listening to your voice. Oh, wow. And your face when you smile or laugh. Thank you. People, the person I just booted is a racist, right? That's not something that's never going to fly on this channel. And you know what? Sometimes they're slick and they say things because they think they're going to get under the radar. You don't get a second chance. There are things I'll give you second chances for. Racism isn't one of them. Get your crap and get off my boat. I am so glad that you've never been unsubbed, Kirsten, because I love you. I really do. I am so glad that you're here. You know what? I like that. Let's put that up there. It does help if you do the thumbs up after the live. It does. It'll also help if you do the thumbs down. You know what? Unapologetically me, that sounded racist as crap. Go back and read what you just wrote. Go back and read what you just wrote. That's really, if that's not racist, my friend, that is really, really ugly looking. It really is. Really ugly. Sorry. They only hook up whites, right? It doesn't stick with blacks. Sounded really bad to me, man. Blocked on Chase the Heat too. Seriously, if you're backpedaling on that, let me make a suggestion. If you're telling me the truth, great. Grab a new name, come back in here, and don't say anything like that ever again. Right? Seriously. I got a very, 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 very serious brother who's black, who is struggling currently in a hospital. And if I seem like I'm a little bit on edge about that, sorry, not sorry. A lot of jackasses today have sent me a lot of stuff that really is offensive. So if I'm on edge, sorry, not sorry. Thank you, Layla Bradley. I really appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate that. Yeah, sorry, not sorry. Lumen, thank you. All right, people. So I really wanted to come on here and give everybody an update on my brother Q. I also want to talk about another brother of ours, right? Steve Meski is really going through it, right? Steve Meski is really going through it, and he is a crew member of this boat in good standing, and he is just a great human being, and he's got a great family, and he's very, very much loved on this boat. And today is really a bad one. He's been in and out of the hospital a lot, but he's struggling. And you know what? One of the things he's struggling with is keeping his chin up. And if you've ever had a really bad medical experience, this is the hardest part of any of it, especially when it drags on. Valerie, great to see you here. When you got to go back into the hospital and you got to go back into the hospital, and then you get back to the house and you think everything's groovy and they pull you back to the hospital, that is a super uncomfortable. And it just starts to wear you down. And he's going to watch this, even if though they told him not to. And I just want him to know that we love him. And we want to see photos of that watch on your wrist, right? So to Steve and Vicky, and to thoughts and prayers going out. If you're someone that does something other than that, do it, right? If your gig isn't thoughts or anything else, just do whatever your gig is, please, because he's top shelf, man. He really is. And almost everybody on the boat is, right? But he really is a good dude. JD, you look beautiful. Noble Savage, glad you're here. Sandy Wandy, how are you? Hey, you know what, Scoob? It's okay, man. Relapsed earlier with a cig. Dust yourself off. Get back up, right? Do the math. Hadn't had a cigarette in how long? It's throwing out for a year just for laughs. Okay. So you didn't relapse. You're starting again tomorrow. God, I hate that. Take one cigarette, divide it by 366 days. You've smoked one cigarette in 366 days. Somehow this is a failure? Okay. Start smoking again tomorrow. You're failing. Failing means, right, not getting back up. Doesn't mean falling down. Nelson Mandela, right? He got his Nobel Peace Prize. He said, I really hope you're not giving this to me, because I hope you're giving this to me for how many times I got back up after getting knocked down. So you got knocked down today. Get back up. Stop smoking that cigarette, right? Throw that thing out. Dust yourself off, Scoob. You're one of the toughest women I've ever met. You got this. You got this. Yeah, there's a good one. Ugly house not welcome. How am I holding up with my dearest friend and health problems? Not well. You really want to know the truth? I'm not doing well. I'll tell you this, though. My car doing what it did that should have been a meltdown. That's right in my wheelhouse for really melting down, right? Losing my mind. I got cerebral as crap. I did. I got really, really cerebral. I chilled out. It was cold. It was really cold today. So I said to Johnny, you know what? He had shorts on. I said, kick in the car. I'm just going to go and get this. I got this figured out. And I didn't have it figured out, but here we are. We got the car started. I'm going to tell you the whole story, because the whole story is so much funnier than this, but it's going to take about 30 minutes because it's a hysterically funny story. It really is. Sorry. You know what? Quitting cigarettes is tough, by the way. Really tough. Nicotine. You know why nicotine sucks so bad, people? People always say all the time, man, anybody that says nicotine is as addicting to heroin is the stupidest thing in the world. Heroin addicts, we think nobody from a cigarette's ever laid on the ground crapping themselves, crying, right? That's not the litmus test. We didn't say kicking, right? Cigarettes is worse than kicking heroin, right? Don't make those kind of things, because that's a stupid comparison. It makes us look like we're not quite there. The question is, how addicting is it? Well, the fact that you can legally walk into a store and buy something that will double your dopamine level every time you hit it, right? You smoke a cigarette, your dopamine level doubles. Doesn't last very long, so you go back for the next one. Well, how addicting is that? I did not unsubscribe, but was unsubscribed. Prayers for you and Q. Thank you so much. Really means a lot to me, man. Everyone, all of you. He is a good human being. He is a really good human being. Way better than I am. I mean, he really is. He's just a really good person. I know you have said this, but can I get Suboxone Suboxone okay and Quick MD from home? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. To interventional meaning almost never. You can absolutely go to Quick MD, right? Get Suboxone and do it from your house. You do not need to leave your house. Now, someone is going to have to pick up the prescription from the pharmacy. No getting around that. That's just how it goes. Unless you got a pharmacy that delivers. But you do not have to go to a doctor's office to see somebody from QuickMD. You do not. Download the app, walks you through the whole process. It's quite simple. It really is. Sorry, people. This is why I don't do dead air, right? I can just do the Green Acres is the place to be. Would I ever consider having a mafia night? Absolutely, I would. Absolutely, I would. And here's the thing. I know a bunch of gangsters. I just have not reached out to any of them. I'm Italian. And the yards that I ended up on, my first shot was always trying to answer to whoever the Italians were. If that wasn't the case, then I went to whoever was the next car up. But I know a lot of gangsters. I know a couple really what was the term they were using last night? Swingers, right? You know what swingers? I mean, I knew some big time, no joke. Like these guys were, they're the guys from the movies. I mean, like Godfathers, like the real deals. I knew a consigliere, and I knew a guy that had the keys for one of the 5 families. I took him to every meal of the day. He was in a wheelchair, which is funny because he could get out of it and walk around, but he didn't like walking all the way to the chow hall. So I had a pay job in prison to push this guy to breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which is awesome because we just had so much fun. It happened to you with a channel that had over 1 million subs. Well, they probably didn't feel it as much, but what is my family's heritage? Italian. I mean, for the most part, we're Italian. There's a couple of other things in there probably if you looked, but we're Italian. Dom's mom. Love how you always stand up for justice and consistently show up for your friends. You're a genuine good guy. Sending love and prayer for your friend. Thank you so much, Dom's mom. You know what? I try to stick up for my friends. I try to stick up for my friends very often, whether they're right or wrong. Now, I will go out and tell you that I don't necessarily think they're right, but that I'm going to stick up for them because I'm not going to let you crap on my friend, even if they're wrong. Roman walks into a bar, asks for a Martinez, a Martinez at 2.7. Car key bowls from the 70s. You guys talking about swinging? How did we get onto car key bowls from the 70s? We have jumped the rail. For real. That is a swinger reference, is it not? What did I miss? Oh, pineapple. Okay. Do I remember the Iceman? Are you referring to a man by the name of Kuklinski? He was a freelancer. Would have had to have been with a name like Kuklinski. That's not Italian, right? That's Polish. And you can work for the mob and not be Italian, right? That's possible. Henry Hill was not full Italian, right? And the character that was played by Robert De Niro, Mickey Conway, That was a real guy. And Mickey Conway was full Irish, but they couldn't be made men. And what that basically meant is that anybody could kill them anytime they wanted, right? The benefit of being made is that you have to get. I know Michael Francese's story really well. I know Esperanza. I know his story really, really well. I know people from the same family. I know a lot of people from the same family, actually. I did time with a lot of the guys that Michael knew. Same people. You know what, Demon? Unfortunately, Q is not. Here's the thing with compassionate release. In the feds, compassionate release usually requires a couple of things. One is that you're over the age of 55. One is that you have served at least 50% of your sentence. You cannot serve 50% of a sentence. That is a problem. So what Q needs is a pardon, right? He needs a pardon or an absolutely ridiculous miracle. And I believe in miracles. I watch them happen every day. But the big one is a pardon. And you want to hear something super arrogant, huh? Well, a little secret. My goal is to get this thing big enough that they want to give me one. And then I want to say, no, I'm already on the street. I don't need your freaking pardon, but I got a friend that does. I want to get big enough where one of these scumbag politicians needs us to swing an election, right? So that we can get Q out. You think I'm playing? It's been my goal from Jump Street is to get this big enough to get my friend out of prison. And at that point, we'll let him sit here. Q's mom cannot visit him in the hospital. It's not an option. It isn't even an option if he was dying. That is just how that works. Yeah, this is kind of like prison. In prison you have guys that you'll say, he's a friend, right? You're signing off on that. You're literally saying, okay, that's a friend of mine. And what that means is that you got his back, right? You will always have that person's back. Then you got your ace deuce, right? Q's my ace deuce. So what that means is if a guy came out of a cell and said, hey, dude just got caught stealing something out of a cell. 4 people witnessed it. I don't care. I don't care. That's my guy. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to fight with him. And yeah, at a later date, I'm sure we're going to have a conversation about why the hell he stole something out of somebody's cell. But that's my guy. That's my ace deuce. And he can't do wrong. Not while I'm standing next to him. We'll figure it out later. But while I'm standing there, there's no way to do anything. Yeah, no, that's BS. It absolutely is. Q-Kid, is there anything we could do to help with a pardon or something else? Doc, I've said this on the boat before, and I'll say it again. Right? If you're new, you've not heard this. If you've been here a while, you've heard it so many times, but I'll say this again. The day is coming, okay? The day is coming where I'm going to come here, and I'm going to say, it's showtime. And when that happens, I want a letter from every single person who says that this boat helped them in any way, right? And I want it to be addressed to that judge. I want those letters to go in a truck, but we can't do that until the time comes. So keep your powder dry. I promise I'm going to ask for that. You know what? Q's mom is the ultimate lurker. So thoughts and prayers. I don't know that she's missed a show. I'm not being funny. Certainly not from the beginning. After she realized what was going on here, she doesn't miss shows. I've bit of an adopted son, I think, in that family. So, as I said, she does not miss too many shows. She also does not talk much. Max Frost says, YouTube is purposely making subscribers disappear so they don't have to pay out as much. Well, it's a theory. It's a theory. Trouble is, here's the thing. Let's say they unsubscribe you right now, right? Let's say you're not subscribed to me right now. I'm still getting paid for you to be here because technically the pays only come from views, but it's certainly demoralizes you. It makes you feel like you're working hard. That play button and all that's kind of a report card. Because if you're doing your job right, people hit subscribe, right? It's just one of those things. All right, people. I'm going to knock this thing off a little early because in about an hour and a half, I got to do another one of these. But I wanted to come on and tell you, please hit subscribe. Please hit subscribe. Check and make sure you're subscribed and do it every day or every couple of days. Kathleen Champ, thank you so much. You're a lurker. I know you. You're no lurker. Thank you. Thank you. You are appreciated. I mean it. And that goes for all of you. I love you. All right. We'll see you on the next one. I'm Captain Tommy. The cat's lazy.